Multimillion-dollar Hyatt Hotel set to open in 2024. Food for the Poor donates 1,000 pieces of furniture to the Ministry of Education. Middle-aged man found dead afloat in the Berbice River. In the region, Brazil faces a growing hunger crisis, and internationally, Biden to visit ports in a bid to resolve U.S. shipping crisis. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. On Wednesday, ministers of government participated in a salt-turning exercise for the first Hyatt Place Hotel, a US $32 million investment by Stars Investment Incorporated. The construction of the 125-room hotel at Providence East Bank, Demerara, is estimated to provide job opportunities for approximately 300 persons during the 20-month construction phase. Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Juanita Waldron, said she expects the many employment opportunities coming from the construction and operation of the hotel to be provided to persons residing on the east bank of Demerara.
In a matter of days, this location will be a job site, or shortly. The construction of this hotel is expected to create up to 300 jobs, and we expect that much of that workforce will come from right here in the surrounding communities on the lower East Bank. Once in operation, the facility is expected to employ 70 to 80 persons. Once again, many of whom we expect to come from right here in the vicinity of the hotel.
Minister Waldron stated that the government of Guyana is always willing to collaborate with investors for the country's sustainable development. Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, thanked the company for choosing Guyana as an investment destination, given the growing demands for hotel rooms here.
It's an open secret that international visitors coming to Guyana can't find a hotel room. We have international delegations saying to us they cannot get a hotel room. I wish to thank you very much for recognizing Guyana's tremendous potential as a destination for investment. I want to congratulate you and thank you for recognizing Guyana's potential in that regard.
SIRS Chairman Imtiaz Ahmad said the project will provide many job opportunities in the construction and operation phases.
125-room hotel will be situated on approximately 3 acres of prime land on this location, creating employment for approximately 300 persons during the 20-month construction phase. At the time of opening, we expect another 80 to 100 people to be fully employed. And without a doubt, and you can remember I said this today, without a doubt there will be opportunities for local partnerships which will result in huge dividends for the country and the people of Guyana.
Also present at the event was the Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for information, Kwame McCoy, Chief Executive Officer of Go Invest, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, and Foreign Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Robert Fassad. On Monday, Food for the Poor Guyana Incorporated donated 1,000 pieces of school furniture to the Ministry of Education. The items will be distributed to schools across the country to benefit students and teachers. Among the items donated were bookcases, chairs and tables, student and teachers' desks, file cabinets, among others. Dr. Ken Vincent, Chief Executive Officer of FFTP, said he looks forward to continued collaboration between the organization and the Ministry of Education to make the lives of both learners and teachers better. Receiving the donation on behalf of the Ministry of Education was Minister of Education Priya Manichan, who noted that the two entities should highlight priority areas to make the established partnership even more meaningful. The minister said the items will be stored at the Ministry of Education's book distribution unit until such time as they are distributed to the schools that need them most. A SuperBet and Essequibo's East Bank is counting its losses after being robbed of more than $300,000 just before it was about to close. Dear Jarvis has more.
An 18-year-old cashier was allegedly robbed at SuperBet outlet at Tuschen Public Road, East Bank, Essequibo on Wednesday night by an identifiable male with a knife. Inquiries disclosed that around 9 p.m., the cashier was closing the SuperBet shop when the suspect walked into the venue. The man pulled out a white-handled knife and pointed it to the victim before hitting him several times about his body before slamming his head against the wall. The attacker then went into the cashier's area and took out $365,000 cash from a box before fleeing on foot. The victim raised an alarm and the police was summoned. The victim received several injuries to his right side jaw area. He was taken to the Lenoro Cottage Hospital and seen by a doctor on duty and treated and sent away. Investigations continue as the perpetrator is still at large. Reporting for Headline News Update, Dale Jarvis.
Thanks, Dale. Stick around after the break. Mental health and what the government may be doing to address the issue, and middle-aged man found dead afloat in the Berbice River.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
For decades, milk has remained the same, until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Welcome back. Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh said the government is devoted to providing quality care to persons with mental health challenges. During his engagement with members of the Berbice Chamber of Commerce and Development Association on Sunday, Dr. Ashni Singh made this statement. He said, quote, "Mental health is a very serious medical issue in our society. I don't think there is a full understanding of the seriousness of mental health," end of quote. The minister said while he could not speak about the decisions to relocate the National Psychiatric Hospital in Region 6, he is confident that the government is currently seeking ways to improve the facility. Quote, We would like to get to a point where we have a good quality facility. We would ensure those who are there enjoy some measure of dignity and are able to access good facilities and good treatment. End of quote. Earlier this year, $26 million was invested for the rehabilitation of the psychiatric hospital to improve the living standard following a tragic fire at the institution. The government has already implemented measures to prevent any future incidents of fire and other disasters at the health facility. One such measure is the beefing up of security. The National Psychiatric Hospital is the only one of its kind which provides service to persons diagnosed with mental illnesses. Meanwhile, the body of a 52-year-old man was discovered on Wednesday, November 10th, floating in the Maria Henrietta Berbice River. The man has been identified as Jameson Diablo, also known as Major. According to reports, Diablo was last seen around 6 a.m. on Friday, November 8th, when he went to his cousin's shop to make a purchase. He subsequently left with a dilapidated wooden boat, paddling down the Berbice River, which he operated from the bow. Sometime after, the said boat was seen floating along the Berbice River by residents of the area. An alarm was made, and residents of Maria Henrietta launched a search for Diablo, but to no avail. However, he was discovered floating in the Berbice River facing downwards around 8 a.m. on Wednesday. The body was fished out and escorted to the Kukwani Hospital complex and officially pronounced dead. The body is presently at the Kukwani Hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. The Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to all traffic from 9 p.m. on November 13th to 5 p.m. on November 14th to facilitate much-needed work on its retractor spans. A statement from the company explained that the bridge is an aged structure that requires constant maintenance. Earlier this year, a contract was awarded to Infab for the rehabilitation of retractor spans 9 and 10 and the design, fabrication, and installation of retractor span 9. The daily openings for seagoing vessels occur along spans 9 and 10. Therefore, it is the most critical section of the bridge that absorbs more wear and tear. The contractor Infab has completed their off-site design and fabrication work and is now ready to work on-site, that is, to remove and replace damaged components. This work will result in the opening of the retractor span. It will be extremely unsafe to commute during this time. Consequently, the Demerara Harbour Bridge will be closed to all traffic. While the management of the Demerara Harbour Bridge is conscious of the inconvenience this closure will cause, it is in the interest of safety that spans 9 and 10 be rehabilitated without a delay. Don't go away after the break. Brazil faces a growing hunger crisis and Poland-Belarus border crisis deepens. But before that, here's the bridge retraction schedule.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Kingdom-based taxi service, transportation for every occasion. Short drop, airport, weddings, funerals, and much more. We're located at Lot H. Durbin and Vicingen Road, next to Green City Bar. For honest, efficient, and reliable service, call Kingdom-based taxi service at 648-5959 or 227-7937. You can count on us.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Inflation, the pandemic, and a lack of investment in social programs mean the number of people going hungry in Brazil is growing. President Jair Bolsonaro is trying to amend the constitution to allow him to spend more to address the problem, but critics say he is using poverty as an excuse to increase his own campaign budget before next year's election. Al Jazeera's Monica Yannick reports.
Mariusa Barbosa has been walking the streets of Rio de Janeiro for the past 3 decades. She works for the NGO Citizenship Action, distributing food for the needy. This alleyway is not the place where one would expect to find hunger. But since 2014, the number of hungry in Brazil has doubled, from 9 million to 19 million people. That's the equivalent of the entire population of Chile or Romania. Mariusa tells us that behind every door, she finds a desperate family. Cynthia Lisette lost her job during the pandemic. In November, the government suspended the emergency aid. She doesn't know how she'll feed her 4 children, and the 5th one she's expecting. The family receives a $65 monthly check from the government's social program Bolsa Família.
But it's worth nothing. Inflation this year is more than 10%, and food prices have tripled.
Many Brazilians living in poor neighborhoods like this one now depend solely on donations to put food on the table. But families like Karina's face an additional problem. They don't even have the means to cook it. 1/3 of what Karina receives from the government's social program pays for the gas. None of her neighbors can afford using a regular oven. They've resorted to bricks and alcohol to cook their meals.
But the worst days are the ones towards the end of the month, when you have nothing to cook and you must tell your children to go to bed early on an empty stomach because sleep will make the hunger go away.
Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro has promised a new social program, Brazil Aid, substituting the old one. But there's no money to finance it unless Congress approves a constitutional amendment permitting the government to pass the spending cap. Critics say Bolsonaro is using hunger as a weapon to get hold of money during an electoral year.
What's happening is that Bolsonaro is using hunger as a tool to expand his money so he can make a better campaign in the next year. So he is extinguishing Bolsa Família. That is a program that is proven worldwide that is one of the best programs of money transferring for the poor. And he's creating a new program with no rules. We don't know how the program is going to work. There's no money for it. There's no rules defined on how it's going to work exactly.
While the politicians bicker, millions of Brazilian families have no food on the table. Monica Yanaki of Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.
Internationally, the coronavirus pandemic is creating excessive delays in U.S. shipping, with some importers warning that Christmas gifts could be late. The backlog is such a problem that President Joe Biden visited the port facilities on Wednesday to announce plans to untangle the mess. Al Jazeera's Rob Reynolds reports.
At least 100 giant cargo ships are floating in limbo off the Southern California coast, carrying billions of dollars worth of goods they can't unload. It's the most visible sign of today's global supply chain crisis.
We have never seen the volume of containers we're seeing today. We are busier than ever. We are at full capacity. But the warehouses are also fully subscribed.
The ports of LA and Long Beach are the largest in the U.S., handling about 40% to one-half of all imports, mostly from China. But due to COVID-era online spending sprees by American consumers, staffing shortages, and sheer lack of storage capacity compared to the volume of shipping, the ports are jammed, even after ramping up to 24/7 operations.
The pandemic had the effect of impacting every segment of the supply chain all at the same time. On top of that, the pandemic triggered heightened demand for goods overseas from U.S. consumers. U.S. consumers are buying goods at a historic pace.
U.S. President Joe Biden has allocated government funding and is urging more coastal ports, warehouses, trucking companies, and other links in the supply chain to work 24/7 to solve the problem.
We have to take action now, together with our partners in the private sector, to reduce the backlogs that we're facing.
The winter holiday gift-giving season is fast approaching.
So what's on board all of these ships stuck out in the harbor waiting to unload? Well, there's clothes, computers, furniture, electronics, and, of great importance to parents and grandparents everywhere, toys.
Isaac Larian sells toys, lots and lots of very popular toys.
Kids can't get enough of this.
Can't get it.
His MGA entertainment company includes gotta have it items like LOL Surprise, Bratz, and many others.
So this not surprise, little cats, kitty cat camper. We have research. It's going to be the hottest toy this year. Hottest toy this year. Over 70% of the demand is sitting on boats and containers in a China factory. They won't make it for Christmas. And I'm talking about the supply chain logistic nightmare.
The snarled supply chain is slowing down global economic growth and boosting inflation. Now it might mean a lot of disappointed kids.
I love children more than I love toys. My advice to consumers, whoever is watching this, please go and shop early.
Experts predict the crunch will persist well into next year. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Long Beach, California.
And finally, months-long migrant crisis that has played out along Poland's border with Belarus is rapidly deepening as more people make desperate attempts to cross the frontier. Al Jazeera's Nadeem Baba reports.
As the temperatures plunge, they try to keep warm as best they can. Men, women, children, huddling around fires. These scenes were filmed by Belarus's Telegraph news agency near the border with Poland. Belarus says there are more than 2,000 refugees and migrants camped out here, with more arriving all the time. Belarusian authorities have just released these pictures.
It's a total catastrophe. So many women in the 8th or 9th month of pregnancy. We don't have other options. They'll probably be giving birth here. They don't want to leave the camp.
Poland, which released this footage, says there are up to 4,000 people near the border and more than 10,000 more across Belarus. German Chancellor Angela Merkel has asked Russian President Vladimir Putin to press the Belarusian leader to stop what she called the instrumentalization of migrants. But President Lukashenko's confident that he's got Moscow's backing, not least because 2 nuclear-capable Russian planes have practiced bombing runs in Belarus on Thursday. And as the German parliament hosted Belarusian opposition leader Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, there was no sign of tensions easing.
The European Union will expand and tighten its sanctions against Lukashenko's regime. This is what we'll decide at our foreign ministers' meeting in Brussels on Monday. Those people and companies actively involved in human trafficking will be further sanctioned, no matter where on the globe.
The EU says Minsk has been luring people from countries in the Middle East and encouraging them to cross into Poland and Lithuania to create chaos. Yusuf Atalla fled Syria. He's now relatively safe in Poland. He was driven towards the border by Belarusian police, but he says he was also beaten.
Border guards come, followed us, and then they catch us, take an ease. We took an ease like this. In that way, there's a Belarus soldier just this side. He kicked me in the face with his foot. So I passed off about a couple minutes. Broke my nose and broke a bone in here, and my eyes are swollen like that.
After reports Brussels might target Aeroflot, the Russian airline denied any involvement in transporting undocumented migrants to Belarus. None of this political standoff does a thing to help the desperate families at the border, which Poland is preventing aid workers as well as journalists from reaching. At least 7 people have died here in recent months. There are real fears that number could grow. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Updates. Tune in on Friday at 5:30 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.